What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we have another cool G.I. Joe offering for you. Another cool G.I. Joe installment for you today. All the way from 1997. We bring you the G.I. Joe U.S. National Guard. This was one of the first carded figures in 1997 that I actually purchased. This was a line of came about maybe 4 figures, and we talked a little bit about these figures in a few other episodes about the head sculpt was slightly smaller than what Hasbro intended it to be. But by the time that they realized their error, shipments were already sent out to toy stores, around the country. So these particular figures were known as the small head G.I. Joes. And if I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't really notice unless you match this figure up against another G.I. Joe. And you would immediately see the difference. But I kept these figures. I never went and got a duplicate just because they were special. And I was fine with that. We like different here. We like unique here at the museum. We like rare artifacts. Anything that has that label to it or some type of a rare history or story behind it. As a museum curator, I've always been fascinated with that. So I tend to go after items like that. But I purchased this from Toys R Us back in 1997. And it's a basic carded figure, but it has a lot going on for itself. The one thing that sticks out to me about this figure is not the figure itself. It's the beautiful card art, the beautiful card design that this figure came in. The 3D type format. All of this here is encased in plastic. So it's not on the outside, it's inside. And then you have the G.I. Joe, the U.S. National Guard. Cloth covered helmet. Kevlar helmet there. Boots. M16. You can see in the background here, I like that 3-dimensional aspect. You got him in the forefront here, and then you have these other G.I. Joes here in the back. These other U.S. National Guards. This was back when I was buying G.I. Joe at a feverish pace. I mean, any G.I. Joe that I found, because I was a member of the G.I. Joe Collectors Club at the time, so I would get a newsletter, and in that newsletter they would have the shipping dates for the entire roster of figures that were due to come out, which I always thought was pretty cool, and would tell you what month these particular figures would come out in. It gave you something to look forward to, especially when you were, if you're, a collector. The collectors know the that toy hunting bug that we all have as collectors. And we want to get out there. We want to drive from location to location, looking for these figures. I'm hoping that we'll find them on the toy aisle shelves. And I was no different. This figure stays in our main museum section here at the museum. It's not in our archives. I don't keep these particular figures in the archives. Don't ask me why. It's no rhyme or reason. I've never kept them in the archives. Maybe because these were some of my first carded G.I. Joe figures. So some sentimental attachment there to these figures. This outfit says beautiful, nice and crisp, beautifully done. The card is in fantastic condition. As you can see, it's nice and straight. Fantastic condition. Love the head sculpt here. He's got his dog tags on. I know a lot of collectors wanted to stockpile these particular G.I. Joe figures, basic carded figures, to create armies. And I always thought that was pretty cool. Because I was an M.I.B. collector, I didn't really feel the need to have to go out and buy 5 or 6 of these guys. That they weren't coming off their cards anyway. So there was really never a need to do that. I'll get you a back shot of this figure here. Let's bring it up. There's a back shot there of the card. Beautiful card. Beautiful backstory here on the U.S. National Guard. You can pause your video. And we have all these guys. I believe we did a video on this guy already. All right, United States Air Force Chief Crew. Here's our USMC boot camp. Here's our Navy servicemen, and here's our Army National Guard, the one that we have. Let's get you a year here. This is when Kenner was still producing these figures for Hasbro. Here he goes. 1997. These proof of purchases, I never used it. I got every one of my G.I. Joes come with these attached to them. You were supposed to be able to save these for points, and you get so many points, and you could turn them into Hasbro, and you probably could, win a free figure or something like that. I simply was never interested in that. As long as I had the G.I. Joe, I was okay. And we know we've been doing our Mego videos and our What If Halloween special. Been doing that. We don't want to neglect our G.I. Joe fans. So we got more G.I. Joe videos on the way. I want you guys to stay tuned to that. A quick update on our Robin, our 100 like contest for the Robin figure. I believe we're at 60 likes right now. So come on, guys. We have 40 more likes on that video, and somebody's going to be awarded a really cool prize in the 8-inch retro Mego Robin figure. So we need 40 more likes on that video. So that was just a quick update. We got some more fun right around the corner for you guys. Like I said, we're hanging out in our museum today, just relaxing. I'm off, taking a little time, kicking back. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.